I'm beginning to feel it's a little bit like Christmas in July. So many companies are dropping new palettes. I can hardly keep up with it. My Instagram feed is just on fire. Hi everyone, welcome back. It's Melissa, and today we're going to be talking about all the, well, not all of them, but all these great palettes that are dropping. It's like every time I go onto Instagram, there's a new one. I can hardly keep up. So I thought we should talk about them. I'm having trouble deciding which ones really are the ones I want because some of them are kind of maybe a little similar. Some of them are a little out there. I'm so confused. So I thought maybe we could sort through this together. So Anastasia Beverly Hills is releasing the Norvina palette. It is very much the same kind of packaging as their prior palette. There's going to be 14 shades in there. This is not it, obviously. This is the Subculture palette. But I wanted to just refer to it because the layout is the same. The exterior is the same, except for it's like purple. There are 14 shades, purple, pink, and neutral tones. The way they're describing this is it's a palette that you can have neutral looks with a pop of color. It looks like the top row is all metallics and duochromes, and the bottom row is all mattes. So the swatches on this look really interesting. However, some of the commentary I've seen is that the neutrals really mimic what's in the Soft Glam palette, so if you have that, do you really need the Norvina palette? And I passed on the Soft Glam palette because it felt a little warm-toned for me, and those can be a little hard for me to wear in any great quantity. Certainly I can incorporate some warm tones in my looks, but I prefer more like neutral or even cool tones. On the website it said they've posted 13 different looks on Instagram. I have captured some of them, but not all 13. I'll pop them up here so you can see that there is quite a wide range of looks that they're displaying for this palette. They're really quite beautiful, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm very attracted to this palette. I think it could be a really interesting palette added to my collection. Dior is releasing a whole collection. They're calling it the Backstage collection. And in there is a new foundation, a face palette, which I think is just blush and highlighters, a brow palette, a lip palette, and 2 different eyeshadow palettes. Now, what I found really interesting about this is they've released a warm tone one and a cool tone one. So I think, you know, maybe this tide is shifting from all this really warm orangey palettes, oh, thank you, to more neutral and even cool tone shades. This I find really appealing to me. It's a 9-pan palette. One of the pans has like a little built-in primer built into it, and then the rest of the 8 shadows are a mix of mattes and shimmers. This whole collection looks really, really beautiful, if I do say so. I think the cheek or the face palette looks beautiful, and even the lip palette looks kind of interesting. I think lip palettes are great to keep at the office. During the day, you can just touch up. There's got to be a color in there that's going to work with a look you have, and then you don't have to constantly be toting a lipstick in your purse and end up with 12 lipsticks in your purse by the end of the week. This video is about eyeshadow. So naturally, I'm attracted to the cool tone, which is like mauvey pinks, maybe a little taupey. I think this looks stunning to me. I really think this looks gorgeous, and I don't really have any Dior eyeshadows, so there's something appealing there as well, although they come at a very high price point. Moving on to the next one is the Fenty Moroccan Spice palette. So this is the first like new palette that I saw, and I was like, ooh, I'm excited about that because I do have this palette that was the Galaxy palette that was released when she first launched the line, and this is all shimmers. The Moroccan Spice is the exact same format, the same layout inside, the same style, but a different graphic on the cover. So people are just raving about how beautiful the packaging is on this palette. So this palette has 16 eyeshadows and its assortment of mattes and shimmers. Whereas the Galaxy palette was all shimmers, the Moroccan Spice has some mattes built into it. So one of the big observations that I have found with this palette, it looks really gorgeous. However, as others have pointed out, it's pretty much a neutral palette with a pop of blue. And been there, done that. There seems to be a lot of these palettes on the market already in an assortment of price points. But I do love the Fenty brand. I think it's really interesting, and I really would like to try their matte eyeshadows. So in looking at this palette, these top 3 shades kind of look very similar to me. And especially in the swatches, I think they look a lot alike. And then this row here, these 3 down this way, again, this whole corner here, I think, is going to come off very similar on the eyes. However, this like cool side here looks really gorgeous to me. This is kind of a plummy, purpley look, and these 2 shades, this dark green and this teal blue, I think could be really fabulous. So I'm really on the fence here. Basically, what I'm really wanting to try are a lot of their matte shades, and I was pretty excited about this color story initially, a little less so now as time has gone on. All right, let's move on. Recognize these? Lorac is dropping a 4th in this series, and it's going to be the Lorac Pro 4. It's going to follow the same format as all of the earlier palettes. So I think this palette has some beautiful colors in it. And, you know, when I looked at it initially, just like where the whole palette's in the screenshot, I kind of went, okay, that's nice. And then I found them like really up close so you could get a really good idea of what the colors are. And I have to say, I'm much more impressed with them than I was initially off the bat. The first 6 here that I'm showing you are very good, like basic colors. There's, you know, the mattes look terrific, and the shimmers look like they would work with a lot of different shades, especially this silver mauve shade looks really gorgeous. Then the last 6 colors I think are kind of interesting. Now, Amaretto I probably will never use, but never say never. That's the beauty of a palette, because sometimes there's an Easter egg in there and you go, wow, that's terrific. I never would have tried that, except for it was in a palette. And that's how I feel about Amaretto. I would never try that, but maybe I will give it a go once it's, you know, in the palette if I decide to pick that one up. I happen to really love this bottom row, the Merlot, Java, and Midnight. I think they're gorgeous. Black Currant looks super interesting. So I think initially when you look at it in the overall, you go, meh. But when you get an up-close picture of it, it really looks pretty stunning. I think I saw that on social media somewhere, that Lorac is pulling out of Ulta and now will only really be available in Kohl's. And I'm like, what the heck are you doing? It's becoming more and more difficult to find this brand except for online. And if that's the case, I think that's a big, big mistake. So let me know. Let me know if you've heard that rumor as well, or if you can add any validity to it, because I haven't been able to find anything elsewhere, but very interesting. So now let's take a quick little sidestep to the drugstore. I saw these 2 palettes on Miliani's Instagram page, and I think they are stunning. One is obviously a warm tone, one is a cool tone. I'll give you one guess which one I'm more interested in. That cool tone one that looks cool, taupey, deliciously smoky. I just think it's gorgeous. I have not been able to find any more information on that. I don't know what they're called. I don't know when they're going to release. The only thing that I saw on the Miliani Instagram page, they added Walmart. So perhaps it's a Walmart exclusive. Let me know if you see them around, if you hear about them, if you know any more information. I really would love to know. I think that cool tone one is definitely, I'm pretty certain I'm going to look at that one up close and personal. So the next one I want to talk about is from Smashbox. It's a new offering in their color shot line. They come in these little palettes like this, and the quality of these eyeshadows are nice. There's really nothing wrong with them. I rarely use these because I absolutely cannot stand the packaging. They look cool. Don't they look cool? And you pull it up. Oops. And when you open it, it really can only open like that. And then with the slightest touch, it flops closed. And it's constantly flopping closed. This is about enough to make my head blow off the top of my body. I just can't work with that packaging. But I wanted to talk about this palette because someone mentioned on my social media somewhere that it looks like a dupe for the Norvina palette, the Anastasia Beverly Hills Norvina palette. So I'm going to put them side by side up on the screen so you can take a look at them, and I think there are definitely some similarities. Are they an exact dupe? No, but there's like a metallic-y gold, there's a couple of like purpley, pinky purple and a purple shade, some neutrals. This is definitely something to think about if you don't want to spend the money for the Anastasia palette. You like the colorway, you maybe want to play around with it. This might be an option if you can get over this foolish packaging. So that is the Smashbox Cover Shot Major Metals palette. Okay, the last one I want to talk about in this video is the Urban Decay Born to Run palette. It is a whopping 21 shadows, and it looks like there's 5 of them that are matte. This is already out as well. And when you read like through the description, it says an all-in-one palette with neutrals and pops of color. It looks like a pretty cohesive palette with some good neutrals. It looks like it has a little mix of everything in it. It has some of like those pinky, reddish, cranberry shades that would be in the Modern Renaissance palette. It has some of the like bluish green shades that are really popular right now, a nice little purple one, a dark black. Like this could be an all-in-one palette, and I think what they're trying to like promote this as is like a palette that you can just pop this in your bag and you've got something for every time, every occasion, any look, any outfit, any occasion, anything. Therefore, like Born to Run. And aside from the fact that it would have a great theme song if they could get the copyrights from Springsteen. So I think that is beautiful. Maybe a little light on the mattes, a little heavy on the shimmers. So that's what I got for you today. Share below if you have any of these yet, any of the ones that are out already, if you like them, what your thoughts are on them. Which ones are you most interested in? I'm thinking that Miliani palette looks beautiful, and it's similar to maybe the Dior in shade range, so that would save some money. And then I'm like, which one? Which big palette do I get? Do I go for the Pro 4, the Lorac Pro 4, because I don't want to break up the family? And as much as I love the Norvina palette, looks so beautiful, would I really reach for those lavender purpley shades? They might be a little too pastel-like for me. We'll see. I'm probably going to pick up one. I just have to figure out which one. Help me pick which one. All right, that's all I got for you now. I post videos every Saturday morning, and I'll include a link to last week's up here in case you missed it. And if you are new to my channel and just stopping by for the first time, just click on this little bee icon here, and you can go to my subscription page on my channel and subscribe. Thank you so much for your time today, and I will see you real soon. Take care. Bye-bye.